Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to talk about few topics, mainly the gap, the impact of the Industrial Revolution in our societies today. To go back, we have to understand we were agrarian, or we lived under the agricultural revolution for 10,000 years almost. And starting about 4,000 years ago, we created structures around our new economy as we moved from hunter-gatherer to settlers uh, around the Shia culture in South Asia, which is China today, the Indus Valley itself, Mesopotamia, the Nile River, uh, which is quite interesting because at that time Europe was not considered as a core civilization, was not the core of our human societal project. It was on the periphery, which is completely different today. We will come to it later on. So the industrial revolution itself, the agricultural revolution itself created a gap between uh, people in our society. But the gap was not understood as inherent to our societal systems, which is a very complex idea. What is a societal system itself? But not to go to this now, I would like to focus mainly on post-industrial revolution and what's happening today. The gap today is huge. As we cross the 21st century, the power of the few, with few responsible societies we have here in nations, create a dilemma for all of us. We have too many stakeholders, many actors in our societal global experiences and exchanges. It's become very difficult to look at the gap between the rich and the poor, the one who have, the one who do not have, who is driving our society, who is driving our push forward, knowing that actually we are on Earth. Earth itself has no driver and it's pushing forward just like that. It's quite interesting um, thing to think about it. Between put a relationship between our universe, who we are, where we're going, what's going on, and us itself, who we are on Earth, what we are doing on Earth, where we're going. Um, the gap is huge. I would like to say it's between the one who have and the one who do not have. Um, Estimated data, you can go and you check it by yourself on Google or Baidu if you want, is that the accumulation of net worth of about half of the planet, we're talking about 4 billion people, especially since the COVID-19, can fit the wealth. I mean, wealth wise, can fit, sorry, in a size bus occupancy. It's about 70 people in this globe, basically on more than half than 4 billion people. Knowing that we have more than 1 billion people today living under $2 a day, this is the gap we have. There is a gap between wealth and who has this wealth and who can participate in our economies, because unfortunately our economies are wealth based. You want to go to a bank, they need to see your asset. It means that the money is only given to the one who have wealth and can create extra wealth, not just live, because won't give you the money just to live. For a loan to buy a car, it's useless for them. It's a mass consumable loans. We're not talking about creating something for the economy itself. So the gap is huge, and you have to understand this part. The gap is very, very huge. Unfortunately, we live in a world that is not fair. Access to wealth is not fair, but access to knowledge is free. But again, there is a difference between access to knowledge and the gap between understanding knowledge, right? Getting something out of it so you can use it, because there is a process called data information knowledge, and a lot of us are consumers of data, and we don't understand that information. That's why we have a lot of fake news. That's the issue. And we cannot process it in a way that we create knowledge from it. That's number one. Number two, we all have a smartphone with a CPU capacity of computing as strong and as incredible as the Apollo mission itself computer. But what do you do with it? um, I had a chance to talk to my father, and he told me there was a person, an elderly person, maybe about 40, 50. I'm 47, man. Anyway, so he went to buy a mobile phone in my hometown in Casablanca, and he asked for a new mobile phone, and the person was talking about Huawei, Oppo, Vivo, iPhone, all these smartphones. Uh, they are beautiful, but what can you do with this smartphone in Morocco itself? Do we have cryptocurrency? No. Can you mine with it? No. Can you check your stock market? No. Can you do you have a smart house so you can use your CPU for it? No. Even e-payments is limited. There is no wallet, e-wallet. So what's the point? This beautiful phone and all this technology for what exactly? This is also another gap that we exist today in technology. Knowing that our society is technology based, fire is technology, this is technology, right? So this is also a very important element of the gap that we don't understand yet in our societies, and we have to pay attention to it, because these are going to be a very interesting element on how we go further in our civilization concept of the human project itself. So the gap is huge. And the gap started with the Industrial Revolution, because there was a threshold that we arrived to when it comes to harnessing power. We went from killing whales for fat to light up our cities to now coal and chemical, fossil, chemical, nuclear, and now renewable, and we keep going. I mean, the importance of energy in our societies are important. The importance of actually technology is crucial. So all that because of the Industrial Revolution, there it created a threshold, and that threshold created complex problems also. Don't think that the 7 billion human project today, what we are today at a number, is due because of the agricultural revolution. If we had to stay with the agricultural revolution and that system, we won't be able to progress. Remember, by 1700, the world population was only about maybe a maximum of 400 million. By 1945, by the time the Industrial Revolution started, by the time we went after World War II with all this 50 to 120 million between the two wars that died because of our insane usage of technology itself. We were also about 1945, I believe, about 1 billion, so not that much. And then suddenly here we are with 7 billion. So industrial revolution created problems and complex problems that we are trying to solve. And I'm not sure we can solve them using the same concept we did to solve our agrarian step moving forward. So this is also something we should think about, right? So there is a huge gap of understanding the causes of our problems, the causes of our issues. And we have a gap of wealth, a gap of technology knowledge, a gap of understanding our issues, and the gap of understanding who you are actually as a human being. What do you want as a human being with your life? What you look for? So there are some issues in our thinking sometimes as a society that I believe can hammer our advancement and our movement forward. Anyway, that's my understanding of the gap so far as we reach the 21st century. Thank you for listening to my channel today. Subscribe, keep in touch, and see you around. Take care.